diving into the two panelists we have today, why don't we get introductions? Yukiko, why don't you give a quick intro to yourself?
Hi, my name is Yukiko Roberts. I work for SBI Holdings, currently belong to SBI Securities. And right now I'm in the IT department and have an authority to run a special project to make our company competitive using a lot of available technologies out there.
Awesome. Thank you, Yukiko. As we were talking before, they're secret projects. So
secret project.
We won't be able to tell the viewers what they are, but I'm sure we'll see them.
Sure.
Thank you. And Yukiko, I mean, you've worked both in the US, in Thailand, in Tokyo. You've seen customers from across different parts, and both in brokerage, technology. How do you view what the customer really wants today?
For me, those investors have been really in a passive position, right? They were told what's the right thing to do, what's the right product for them. But now we have these tools and then almost too much information that they have to go through. So it's almost like two extreme situations. So zero to everything. And digital wealth management tools will fill that gap, right? That's personalized and it's objectively personalized advice or information that, you know, those financial advisors trying to make some money out of the support retirees, right? And that kind of thing, unfortunately, happened a lot in a certain part of the planet. And digitalized wealth management tools, only thing you need is phone and the internet.
This takes us on to the next kind of question, which actually a lot of the viewers of these panels that we put up actually want to know, what are the strategies? So yes, the customer needs, more objectively personalized advice. Yes, it's digital, but what are the strategies that you're actually, or what strategies do you think are the right ones for this kind of digital advice gap? Maybe Yukiko, do you want to maybe kick off?
Can you elaborate a little bit about this digital gap?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think, so certainly as we see it, is that it's called like maybe the advice gap. The idea that you have to have more money to get better advice. That there has been this change to say, and this is how we perceive it, there's different ways to perceive it. The people with less money get less advice, or they previously had, because as you say, the financial advisor didn't make money from it. Whereas now, using the different strategies, financial institutions can use different technology to make it commercially viable to offer advice to perhaps everybody. So
that digital gap, right? And rich and richness, am I right?
Yeah.
However, what I did was lower the psychological barrier around investment, right? Investment sounds too much for some people. It's not my thing. Maybe I should, ask someone. I don't think I can do it myself. To lower the barrier, regardless of what kind of sophisticated technologies, running on the background, making the front end, the UX, right? The GUI, very simple and fun to use. So, for example, what I launched in Thailand was notional-based stock trading application, which is basically online shopping. Anybody had done that. So it's really, easy to go in. Instead of picking up your say cosmetics, you are picking up your stocks to invest. Same thing. And yeah, so the point is to fill the gap, right? Let the heavy lifting, let those digital tools do the heavy lifting for them, but make it easier for them to understand and use, so they don't feel intimidated by the concept of investing.
The best phrase I heard the other day, I was talking to somebody about tech. It was a business leader. I won't name him on this. And he said, no, Ned, I understand tech. I can even spell API. And his reality was he had heard of API. He vaguely knew what it was and he wanted to implement it, but like they're not a tech first firm, right? So he said, my strategy is API. That's as much as I can tell you today. Now, and he knew what it was to a degree. I mean, Yukiko, I think it's that, I think what Mike says is right. APIs, open banking, cloud first, data portability, account aggregation. From your side, again, you've really looked, again, SBI is obviously massive in stock trading around the world, a huge amount there. What's your thoughts on that area in terms of the technology or the data and how it can be used?
So I'm not speaking for my company. This is just my personal view.
Of course. We'll put a disclaimer, Yukiko. We'll put a disclaimer. Don't worry.
Yeah. But I think all comes down to, in my mind, two things. There are a lot of data out there. What are we supposed to do about this, right? So I would say artificial intelligence. So the quality of artificial intelligence may make our life a lot more, how should I say? Easier? I don't know, right? Simpler, easier, and not emotionally affected decision. Just informed decision. To do so, we need to teach the right thing, right, to AI. So that part of talent may be a gold mine going forward, right? We know we have data, massive data, right? And even the stock pick algorithm, there are a whole bunch of them out there, and the quality is, vary. So to find the right one, the real one, well, we need to look at the people who's making the algorithm. So yeah, there are just too many things going on, but in my mind, I think we will all come back to this subject of artificial intelligence, because trained professional person is always better than the machine, but machine has the same constant performance. You know what I mean?